Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to NJPW Pro Wrestling Review here on Andre and Melball Wrestling Talk. I am your co-host, Andre C. Right over here is the beautiful Melball, my co-host. How you doing, Melball?
I am doing great, Andre. I just spent like an hour and a half trying to look good for this stream and almost forgot about my hair. It's been an incredible week, though, man. We have been catching up on some amazing wrestling. We've got some NJPW to break down, and my goodness, we got some debuts, some reviews, some hullabaloos that we need to talk about. How are you doing, though?
I'm doing pretty well. I've had a rough couple weeks here, just stuff coming up in my personal life, but I'm finally catching back up, getting excited, getting really excited about wrestling again. I got to see some great professional wrestling like a week and so ago with my friends at Beercade watching the AEW pay-per-view and catching back up on some great New Japan with and talking with you about it. And then this Tuesday, tomorrow, I'm going to be on OLE on Taking Over with OLED. So I get to talk some non-Japanese professional wrestling. So I'm excited.
Something we haven't done on Andre and Melballs in a long time since our first initial meeting together, working together on Forbidden Door last year at Beercade with Backbreaker Video.
Even that was Japanese wrestling.
Even that was Japanese Clearly, wrestling. We have a wrestling problem, my friend. And what a problem to have.
I love this problem. But we are going to get into it. We're here to talk about the first two full shows of the New Japan Cup and two matches from the anniversary show for the New Japan Cup. We're going to be covering the New Japan Cup here. Another big tournament is coming out of Triangle Derby, going into New Japan Cup, then into Cinderella tournament. There's tournaments, baby.
Oi, oi, oi. Always a tournament with these guys. Always something for Melball to be working on. But you know what? I live for it. And I love it.
It gives me something to be inspired by. Because the New Japan Cup will start on March the 5th. And we started out with Ryohei Oiwa and Tama Tonga taking on TMDK's Kosei Fujita and Zack Sabre Jr. Champion versus champion in this match with Tama Tonga and his never openweight title versus Sabre and the TV title. And I'm thinking it was Chris Charlton made a mention this potentially could be a semifinal match if both Tama and Sabre make it through the respective blocks of the semifinal. These two could end up in the semifinal together.
And what a match that would be.
I hope that was a hint. I really do.
Oh, Chris Charlton giving away subtle hints for us in the commentary for us all the time. That would be incredible. That would actually be incredible to see how Tama has grown and just kind of evolved in the last couple of years into what it is that he is. Then having Zack Sabre Jr., the new attitude and just kind of swagger that he has with TMDK and now the TV champion. I would really like to see that showdown. I don't know who I think would want to win in that situation. This match, though.
Sabre.
What was that?
It's for me. It's Sabre.
Of course, right? Team DMDK. With this match, though, the Young Lions very much kind of on display in this guy. Fujita, man, I love the Ichiban Sweet Boy, but man, ooh, that attitude. I'm absolutely loving it. Really taking on that TMDK mentality, having that kind of almost superiority kind of complex with Oiwa. Poor Mr. Mullet Oiwa getting very upset with him. He clobbered Fujita a number of times. I feel like those were maybe some receipts for some of the ish that's been going on behind the scenes with those guys. But in the end there, oh, that Fujita submitting Oiwa with that sweet boy lock.
The double wrist lock. I don't know why you're calling it. Is that I heard Chris Charlton say the double wrist lock.
I don't care what Chris Charlton calls it. We call it the sweet boy lock because that's the Ichiban sweat boy.
I don't know what this called. I don't know who calls it that. For sure, it's not going to be me.
It is me.
That is
all
you.
Me. All day, every day, me.
Put him down with the double wrist lock, otherwise known as the Kimura. An absolutely tremendous match. There was a great spot there's a great spot at the start of this where Sabre Tama Tonga goes for a gun stun and Sabre just stuffs it and puts him right into the Cobra twist. But then Tama, just the smoothness, just flips Sabre over out of the Cobra twist. And I'm like, that was great like smooth wrestling from both these guys to block the gun sign into it and then slip out of the Cobra Twist like that. Absolutely awesome. Fujita really picking up the technical aspects. You can really see it from training with Sabre Jr. I absolutely love it. And Tama Tonga, I literally wrote this down. His smoothness and the transitioning from move to move and how he flows in between everything with absolute ease is absolutely tremendous. This guy's a goddamn star. And I like this is weird to say. I wish he was 10 years younger because then this company would put the title on him. This man's 39 or 40 now. If he was 29 turning 30, I think New Japan would be like, okay, this is the guy to take it from Okada. I still think he could, but again, he's turning 40. I don't think the company is going to put the main title on him. That's the only disappointment for me personally.
I mean, better late than never, right? I mean, let's hope that the growth that Tama has been showing us in the last couple of years continues to go forward into this year. Maybe we could actually get that changed and see him going against Okada for that title and carrying that title. I feel like Tama would be actually a really great representation for kind of stepping in NJPW into the North American kind of market with someone who can talk the way Tama does. So it will be interesting to see how this kind of turns out. In the meantime, I think he needs to focus on that technical prowess of Zack Sabre Jr. there. I personally would love to see this in the finals.
Love to see this in the finals. This would be a semi-final match, but the way Chris said it'd be a semi-final.
Hey, I mean, whatever. I would still love to see it. Just give it to me.
I want it there. But we're going to move on to an 8-man tag match. 6 or 9s, Master Wato and Ryusuke Taguchi, Red Narita, and Shota Umino taking on House of Torture. Yeah, those guys. Same shit off the hop. House of Torture jumped the opponents, but Narita fought back and dominating Evil with the strikes and kicks and getting that beautiful DDT style suplex with the bridge for 2. I love me some Narita. I think this guy's absolutely tremendous. He is the best young lion to come up in a lot of years to come back from his excursion. I think this guy is going to be an absolute star for this company. He is the heir apparent to the Katsuyori Shibata throne, and I think it's only a matter of maybe a couple years before he has the world title on him. I think they're going to Okada him and push him to the top young. Like they did with 100%. Okada. Because Okada's 33, 32, and he's been on top since 2012. So, yeah. So I could see them doing the same thing with Narita here. And Narita's, I think, slightly bit older than that. So, than what Okada was when he got his push to the top. And I really see it. I love seeing Evil getting hit in the head with Taguchi's bum. So good. So good. So good. But I will give a highlight to Yujiro here. That fisherman brainbuster that he does is technically perfect. As much as I hate on House Torture for a lot of things, Takahashi, as slow as he is, as plotting as he is, he's technically so goddamn good. And that fisherman brainbuster is so good.
It's so funny that you bring that up because I remember bringing it up a few videos ago, and you were like, "No." I was like, "You need to admit it is picture perfect."
It is. I think I was just on my at that point watching so much House of Torture. At that point, I took a couple weeks off from watching wrestling, other than what I wanted to really, really, really watch, and I think it's kind of refreshed me, especially watching House of Torture. I'm not as jaded on them anymore. But
that's fair.
In the end, Wato rules Togo up and then transition into the Vendaval, which is a head scissors crucifix choke, and gets the submission victory.
You know what I absolutely loved about this match, Andre, is that you look at the teams. You got House of Torture, which is not what we want to focus on. We got the other team here, which is a kind of mismatch combo breaker, I'm going to say, of Hantai. We got 3 former Lions, all 3 guys in this team who were young Lions when I started watching, about 6-7 years ago. Because when I started watching, Wato was still a young Lion. And then Ren Narita, Shota Umino were still there. Wato left, I think, about 3 or 4 months after I started watching New Japan regularly. But it warms my heart to see that in a matter of like 5 or 6 years, these three men have gone from being the dojo boys, the black trunk wearers with no personality, all doing the same Boston Crab, all doing the same holds, to now look at these guys. You got Kerwato, Master Wato, who is now this like lucha genius, pulling out all these really cool lucha moves, technical moves, submissions. You got Ren Narita, who is arguably like almost Zack Sabre Jr. level of technical like prowess. It's just brilliant. And then you have Shota Umino, who is like, again, the young 20-year-old Hiroshi Tanahashi now, the up-and-coming ace of this company. It's so insane to see them have started in the same place, gone out into these little branches, come back to NJPW, and they're just so completely different, but still the same. I love it. It was a very sentimental match for me, because even though it was House of Torture, I chose not to focus on House of Torture and focus on that sentimental aspect of the young lions are all back, and it made me happy.
Yeah, I feel exactly the same way. Like I chose to just really look at the three young guys who I'm a big fan of, Narita and Wato. Umino, I like him, don't get me wrong. I think he's going to be a star, but I'm not quite like super behind the guy yet. Like I support him, and I'm all for him being pushed. But again, I don't think I've really connected with this character yet. Where when I read it from I watched him on Strong. I was so behind him there. From the day he came back to this company, I'm like, I want this guy to be top. And Wato has really built himself to me being one of the top juniors in the company that I really want to see succeed. So,
100%.
although the picture, if you look at the picture of Wato, makes him look a little chubby, which he is not.
I'm not even gonna lie, he looks a little constipated. Like he's pinching it in.
Yeah.
But then you look at Nakashima in this one, and you just go, "Woo, okay."
Yeah.
Someone found the electrical socket.
But Nakashima is kind of chubby, so it doesn't look good. But
to be fair, I think he's bulking right now to go through an extreme lean out, and he's going to end up looking like Hikuleo.
Oh, he's gonna look shredded as hell.
Yes.
But we get on to the next match of the evening. It is Bullet Club's the returning Chase Owens, Gedo, and Kenta taking on Strong Styles, El Desperado, and Minoru Suzuki. Also with the Yuto Nakashima. Kenta walking out, holding that New Japan Strong Openweight Championship, showing that shit off. And Mel, I know you were very happy to see Chase Owens back in New Japan.
I was, and you know what? Just to get into this, you remember I was mentioning before in his last run, he seemed a little moody. He seemed a little unhappy to be there. His commentary wasn't up to the same level that it usually is that we expect of him. He has I don't know what he found. I maybe some kind of drive or something in Texas there, but he's come back with a vengeance, and he was all up in everybody's shit this match. If there was somebody in the ring, he was in their face, and he was just running his mouth. I loved the energy that he was just bringing into this. It was fantastic. I also missed his package pile driver. His package pile driver is one of the best package pile drivers I've seen executed in professional wrestling. Why are you laughing at that? It's a good freaking move.
No, it's just the way you said it. You missed his package.
I missed his package?
Pile
Come
driver.
on. Andre, focus here. We're focusing on the wrestling.
I'm sorry.
He has a picture perfect package pile driver that he hit on Nakashima, Mr. Spiky Hair there. But man, this match was very intense. Getting back to the rest of the match, I mean, having Chase Owens back was just a dream. But Kenta and Suzuki, not happy with each other, beating the holy hecking crap out of each other. And it brings me back to some of the videos that I've seen of them back in the day, where they're just smacking the holy hell and crap out of each other. And I'm kind of hoping to get back to that and see that match come down. Honestly, forgot that Gedo and Desperado were in the match for a bit.
Yeah, I don't think you got a lot of Gedo and Desperado other than Gedo taking some shots from people and stuff. Same with Desperado; he wasn't in this match much. I
Mm-mm.
don't have any. I don't think I have any notes for Desperado in this. Other, yeah,
No.
that's I
I think he
don't.
was more focused in the next show as opposed to this one.
Yeah,
But Kenta ending up with a massive, massive goose egg over his eye because of the kind of interaction with Suzuki. Getting a little pissy about it, but it's like, dude, you were thrown off a ladder, had your back cut up, your hip displaced, like, and Wrestle Kingdom. This little goose egg, least of your problems, my guy. Least of
but this is like again absolutely phenomenal match. I'll
them.
give
Mhm.
Nakashima great. His struggling, his selling is so good. The kid is getting so good, and he's gonna. It's his work rate is great, but it's his selling that just makes you like
Mhm.
feel for the kid. That I'm just a big fan of him. But
Mhm.
this match has set up at Multiverse United on March 30th.
Mhm.
Kenta versus Minoru Suzuki for the Strong Open Weight Championship, and I plan to be watching that on my TV and possibly coming from OLE an after show, which I might or might not be part of. So I'm gonna try.
The
If
multiverse
it ends
show?
up of the Multiverse United show, which is the Impact New Japan
Oh, yes,
show,
we've both been invited to this.
I'm hoping to be part of this because I'm hoping to have a giant crossover between us and making an impact. So
Yes, absolutely. Working with Astro Pizarro, Cody the Foe, Defoe. That would be amazing. That would
I
be
want,
amazing to work with Cody again. I haven't worked with Cody in years. Got
yeah,
to do
and
that. Real quick
and this
to
match
ask you,
setting
my
that match
friend.
up. I'm excited for it.
Just real quick to touch on what you mentioned about the young lions and their selling, seems to be something that the NJPW dojo, especially in the last few years, has really taken into consideration with that in ring psychology. Andre, how do you feel about the other lions? Not just Nakashima, but like we got Oscar Loibe, we got Bolton, we've got
With
Oiwa.
Loibe and Bolton, I think they're both still early because I
Mhm.
think they were later additions to this class of trainees. I
Okay.
don't think they're quite as seasoned yet. I guess Loibe is out of the New Zealand dojo, isn't he? I want to say,
Yes, yes, you
yeah,
are correct. He was in New
um,
Zealand, and then when COVID hit, he went back to Germany,
yeah, and then he came to. Now he's
New
with
Japan.
the main dojo, but like
Yeah.
they're both very good. It's just again they're learning their psychology, learning that
Mhm,
selling
mhm,
psychology, which they will I think get down pat soon. But they're
mhm,
both getting it. Like Bolton, I think is the greenest of them all. Again, he only started training like in the last six
mhm,
months or
mhm.
so. So for the fact that he's in there doing as good as he is awesome. But just these guys are going to learn Fujita, um, Oiwa here, Oiwa, Nakashima. They all have amazing selling. All three of them.
100%, 100%.
Same with those LA Dojo boys too.
Yeah, the White Rhino, the was it Alpha Wolf?
Look, yeah, Mr. Main Event now, but
Ah, yes, Eddie Thorpe.
yeah, yeah. Let's stay away from that one. But we
Oh,
move
we
on to
can
the
talk
next
about
match.
Thorpe. We like Thorpe.
I I was okay on him. Taking on his way to the next match, we have Chaos. It's Leo Rush, Toriano, and Leo is back, baby. With taking on Los Ingobernables de Japon, Bushi, Hiromu Takahashi, and Shingo Takagi. I'm very happy to see Leo Rush back because I love the guy. I think he has a great
Yeah.
attitude, brings the best out in Yo. Can't ask for anything better.
Um, Best in ring, yes. Best attitude, no. He's the bad child for a reason. Again, though, I've mentioned before, I don't like the attitude. I love the in ring performance, though. That guy is so quick, so good at what he does. The things like the reverse, the turnaround, the speed that he has. I don't know how you train that. It just must be a natural thing that he has. But man, oh man, is he quick. The preview that he and Hiromu gave us, the taste of the match that they're going to have, absolutely unreal. I will say, like, I do like that the combination of Leo and Yo has brought Yo a little bit more out of his shell.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but now instead of looking like an emo angel like he used to, wearing the white with the white hair and stuff, he just looks emo.
I'm okay.
He just looks.
It looks better.
He
It looks
sounds
better.
like he would talk like this if he ever talked to you. Like, come on. Like,
That's
but
all I could think
his
was Mayor
in
Quimby when you
ring,
did that. All I could think was
his,
Mayor Quimby.
his in ring has really stepped up. Like, he was good in ring before, but he's added a little bit of flair to it now, and it's a
Mhm.
lot more interesting to watch. Um, the spot with Yano and Shingo on the turnbuckle was absolutely hilarious. You guys got to watch it to see. I can't even appropriately describe it. You just got to watch this one to understand what happened. But that tag team with Bushi and Shingo in the end on
Mhm.
Yano there was absolutely smooth, absolutely great. It's just exactly what Lij is known for. That just seamless, non-communicative just action where they just know where the next one is going to be and what they need to do. I absolutely loved it. Andre, what do you think?
I thought really great match. I love seeing the Yo Leo roll back because I remember the first time we ever saw it, you and me went, "Oh, that's rough," because they were really it was bad,
Yeah.
but they haven't worked together in a while, and it
Mhm.
completely smooth, perfectly smooth. There was no
It was
issues.
good.
I was very happy to see that rollback. Beautiful tope suicida by Bushi to Yo and Leo on the
Mhm.
floor. Like just that guy moves like a goddamn rocket.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
And
yes.
and
No
yeah,
Bushi's
that
in the crowd.
yeah, but who wants to be a Bushi when you could be a
I do.
Leo? Who wants to be a Bushi when you can be a Leo? Come on.
But Leo doesn't have a mask. He just has horns right now. The way
It's
he's
the
braided
hair.
his
It's the
hair,
hair. You could just put a
the
wig
way
on,
he's
look like
braided
Leo.
it now, it looks like he has ram horns to me. And that I want to touch on. I don't think it's this episode that we notice it though. I think it was like a little further. We will get to that later in the week. But
Mhm.
yeah, I have some interesting nice things to say about that.
And we move on to a six-man
This.
tag match of Hiroshi Tanahashi, Kazuchika Okada, and Tomoaki Hanma versus Chaos's versus I guess it's a Chaos Hontai
Hontai.
mix versus Chaos's Hiroki Goto, Tomohiro Ishii, and Yoshihashi. So uh, it's just an odd match to me. I
Mhm.
know it because this happened on the 5th, and then the 6th they were doing a tag team title match between Tanahashi and Okada versus Bishamon.
Mhm.
But I don't like seeing the essentially two factions fight each other. The two people, or most guys, the same faction fight each other. It's just weird. Um,
There's a lot of potential for a lot of fun things that they can do in there because it's not just the story of I don't like you, you don't like me, we're gonna fight, or there's a title and we're gonna fight. It has the opportunity to create
oh
different
yeah,
stories or just provide some great wrestling.
it is. Like I'll say this: my highlights in this match were Ishii and Hanma. Like those, like Hanma, dude has had a broken freaking neck. If you
Mhm,
go with some Kurt Angle parlance there, um, and just he weirdly moves stiff. The way
mhm,
he moves, and the way he turns, the way he does everything, it's so stiff, but
mhm,
it flows so nicely in how stiff it is. It doesn't seem wrong. You know what I mean?
mhm.
With most people, you see them moving stiff like that, you're like, oh, they're
Like
not sure
Tenzan.
about themselves. Where Hanma, it's almost like he moves stiff to for his flow. It's how he
Mhm,
works. I absolutely love him, man. Um,
mhm.
yo,
And his voice is so awesome.
uh, Okada catching Yoshihashi. It comes in and he flips him up, and then like Yoshihashi looks like he's gonna try and flip over the ropes, but
Mhm.
Okada just pulls him and then pulls him into that air raid crash neck breaker. Mwah! Oh,
That's why he's the
so good,
champion.
so good. In the end, though, Ishii reverses a suplex by Hanma, hits the vertical drop brainbuster, and gets the win. Again,
Mhm,
absolutely fun match. And again, my highlights
mhm,
were Ishii and Hanma. Both these guys just the way they work, the way they're them fighting each other, like just a smacking the crap out of each other, so good.
mhm. Mhm, mhm. And what adds to the charm of Hamna is definitely, as I mentioned, that voice. He's had that crushed voice box, so he's kinda got that raspy kinda thing, so he doesn't, like, scream like normal, he does. It's a little intimidating, I'm not gonna lie, but then you look at how adorable he is, you can't you can't be intimidated by it, I'm really sorry. I'm not scared of Hamna, but I gotta say, best build of all of these guys in the ring is Hamna. You can tell how much he works on himself and how much pride he takes in his look, not just by how, like, jacked he is, but, like, how tan he is. He wants you to see everything, and he shows off everything, and it's such it makes me happy to see because, again, as you mentioned, we know he's so stiff. He's not going to find himself, I think, in any kind of championship bout legitimately
Mm.
for the remainder of his career, but he is such a joy to have around and to see wrestle that I feel like he should be in those matches, even if he is losing, just to have those good freaking matches because we know that he can. Um, yeah, that's all I got to say about this one.
Yeah. Again,
You're
really,
absolutely right. Those 2 were the more highlighted ones in this one, and it made sense that they would be in the deciding finish because they had the least amount to lose in this.
really, it's very true.
Mhm.
But we move on to the 7 main event of the evening. It is El Fantasmo taking on Tetsuya Naito. I found the first part of this match was Naito just screwing with ELP's head and like
Mhm.
doing the Adam and like Naito went to did the bounce of the rope into his pose, but then just laid on the mat going just being a dick and you can see it with ELP come in and just start stomping the crap out of Naito, then he'd leave him. And then Naito would just start doing it again. So ELP would come back and just start stomping him. Then he'd come back and then do it again. Then it's over and over. They
Mhm.
kept doing it. It was just I love the way Naito is such a dick without being a heel, without being a bad guy. He's not a bad guy. He's just like, I know how to screw with you. I'm gonna screw with you. Like it's
Mhm.
there. Just everything these guys did. There's a spot where ELP comes they're fighting on the outside. The ELP goes onto the stage and then leaps across the open spot on the floor over
Mhm.
the from the raised stage where the fans are sitting over the barricade onto Naito. Look,
Mhm.
like I'm just like, oh, dude, if he would have come up a little short, he could have really hurt himself. If he had like
Mhm.
caught the guardrail, I would have just wrecked him. To have the confidence in that ability is awesome. And then he hits a beautiful moonsault off the top to Naito on the floor.
Mhm.
Ooh, so good. And then he goes over to a kid that he almost threw the hat. He was wearing a Naito hat during his entrance. And he goes over and he gets the kid to two sweet him. The kid with the Naito hat, two sweets ELP. I'm like, that's just absolutely perfection.
I mean, and what an FU, right?
Mm-hmm. Pretty much. ELP reversing the Destino into that tombstone lung blower
Ooh, yeah.
Taiji Shimori does. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, and then it applies a yes lock that is literally called the yes lock in by Chris Charlton,
Mhm.
otherwise known as the LaBelle lock in AEW
Mhm.
by Dana Bryan. But yeah, uh, absolutely phenomenal match. ELP hitting that Thunder Kiss 86, but he's holding his gut after, and then he gets the pin, but he doesn't get the win here. It's very much like would he have gotten it if he didn't wait so long to get on top?
Mhm. The immediate follow-up, yeah.
Yeah, Naito turning that ELP powerbomb attempt into a DDT, then hitting that running Destino. But ELP kicking out a 2.0. Because when Kevin Kelly yelled Destino and he was holding the no, I'm like, oh, it's over. And the
Mhm.
ELP kicking out, I'm like, what? I
And then
was
you get
just
the "No!"
yeah, Kevin Kelly's no as well, and then ELP reverses another Destino, hits the sudden death or into sudden death, but Naito catches like an arm trap roll up and just steals a win here.
Mhm. Mhm. I honestly I was expecting, ELP to win this one.
Me
Like,
too.
as big as a fan as I am of Tetsuya Naito and, the potential that this could be the wind down of his career now that he's getting up into that age, um, I I was actually kind of expecting, the new young up and comer to kinda take over.
Ha ha. He's
Yeah,
not young.
I know
He's
the irony of
thirty
what I
nine
just
years
said.
old or something like that. 38 or 30. He's only a
Yeah,
couple
but
years.
he's
Oh,
just finally starting to
37 or
get the
something. Yeah.
career that he's been working for in
True.
New
Very true.
Japan. So arguably his career is young in New Japan.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, in the heavyweight division anyway. Very, very fresh. Yeah, I definitely did feel the same way. I definitely felt that Naito kind of stole this one from ELP because, as I said, I did expect him to kind of take this, especially given the run that Shingo and ELP just had. Arguably, I'd almost say Shingo is a little bit stronger than Tetsuya Naito in regards to just physicality and looking at the history. I mean, Naito is an established champion, but Shingo has been a champion more recently.
Yeah.
And a higher level champion recently than Naito. And now he's currently holding that KOPW atrociousness.
It's better.
We
It's
won't
better
talk
than
about
the
that.
trophy. It's better than the stupid ass trophy.
It is. And I like the color baby blue. I just don't think that it is a color that should be on that title. I think the title itself would look better if it was more if the strap was the color of the TV title, like that kind of like brownish goldy color. It would look better. If it was the same design, yes, it would look better than the baby blue.
It would look better than the TV title, but it still wouldn't look good. It would look better than Baby Blue, but it still would look like shit because that belt color is terrible. Just like
Oh,
the
yes.
TV
No, the
title.
belt color is terrible, but that's why I'm saying change the color of the belt. Like, leave the plates the way they are. I don't mind the plates, but if you change the baby blue, like, just select the blue and turn it to like a tan or like a khaki color, it would be a lot better. It would make the gold pop a little bit more, but
But
also not just look so silly. And like, the blue also brings attention to the Velcro.
just remember, it's a shout out to '80s Hogan, who had who had the blue title for a while.
Who likes Hulk Hogan nowadays? Come on. Like,
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure it is. We move on
nay,
to the
nay.
main event.
Yes.
Another first round match. It's Taichi with his faction against Sonata. So my comment, just for guys, cares more about Taichi than LIJ does because nobody was there supporting Sonata. Hiromu, yes, was on commentary, but he was only there he was only on commentary because he was commentating his leader's match the match before. So
I mean, and there's something that we can touch on that in Stardom that we can talk about in our next show. But yeah, I don't really feel like the four guys were really a factor in this, but it was
no, but they were
something
there.
to. Yeah, but they were there. That's the point. They were there to support, much in the same way that the United Empire does for its team, right? So yeah, it is interesting, especially at this point. I think just for guys, still had none of them had picked up a win at this point since forming this faction. I don't think, or had Kanemaru.
No, because they lost.
Yeah,
Kanemaru
it's
and
not
Doki
yet.
lost the tag team title match, and Taichi
Yeah,
lost
it's
to
in the later
Will
matches
Ospreay.
that we have, later shows that we have to talk
Mhm.
about on NJPW where they finally pick up a win. But at this point, they haven't picked up a win,
Yeah,
and it's disappointing.
these two killed it in the ring to me. These two
Oh.
Okay, Taichi walking out of the way of the plancha, Samoa Joe style, just like
Mhm.
stepping to the side and just letting Sonata hit the floor. I was just like, God damn, that guy's the attitude on Taichi is absolutely phenomenal. I
Mhm.
love this guy.
Mhm.
Just then with the Kawada kicks to the face of DDTing him on the floor, but then later on Sonata coming and pile driving Taichi on the exposed
Mhm.
floor. Dude, it was this whole thing was just crazy. The chop
Mhm.
battles that these two went at in this, and it's absolutely insane.
Mhm.
Um, dude, Taichi with that huge lariat and then that backdrop, dangerous backdrop. Like the whole match was just an absolute tremendous technical masterpiece. And then, dude, Sonata hitting a Black Mephisto for like that 2.9 on Taichi towards the end.
Yep.
Oh, but then he pulls out a brand new finisher, this like spin out DDT thing. The only person I remember seeing do this was Velveteen Dream back in when he was on NXT. He did the very similar move. He pulled the guy forward and then spun out into the DDT. And Sonata pulling that move out, absolutely phenomenal, way better than Dream ever did it, and gets the win. I was really surprised. I thought Taichi was going to win this one.
Yeah, based on how the beginning was going, especially the first part of this match was just Taichi beating the holy hecking crap out of Sonata and then asking him why. What are you doing? Why are you like? Where are you here? What are you fighting me for? That was almost like the kind of little nudge that Sonata needed to kind of light that fire under his booty hole and get up and do something.
Booty hole.
Um, yeah, once these guys got underway, it was absolute fire. This was the match that I wanted Sonata to have with Okada when he was facing him in the G1. Like this match was absolute fire. But the show of respect at the end of this match was what had me in the feels. Probably because, I'm a lady and I'm hormonal, but I was just like, no, look at them being so sweet and just cheering each other on. Go get them, Tiger. Yeah, I really enjoyed this match. I think this would actually be one of those matches that you could like be like, JR, this was a slobber knocker.
Very
These
much
guys
so.
were incredible.
These guys had an incredible match, like absolutely phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
But before we move on to the next night, I want to give a big shout out to our sponsor, Rogue Energy. Use the QR code down the bottom right-hand corner or go to rogueenergy.com and use the promo code OLEPODS for 10% off your order. I want to thank our good friends over at our local establishment for being our great partners with that sponsorship. So thank you very much. And please check out Rogue Energy. Get yourself a Mina Shaker Cola. Okay, got that. I still got to order my Rogue Energy news. I got to order some more powder. Your blood orange is in stock, according to Parrish and Bobby.
Excellent. Excellent. Good to know. Good to know, because that is the best flavor.
No, it's the blue. But we move on, and we go to March 6th. We're just going to talk about the New Japan Cup matches from the anniversary show.
Oh, yes,
we have Shota Umino and versus Yujiro Takahashi. Peter's back. We got an interpretive dance, but Chris Charlton didn't tell us what the interpretive dance meant. Or Kevin didn't tell us what the interpretive dance meant. I was kind of like, what the hell, Kevin? Come on. Give us
you'll just have to like ask her and him to do it again, maybe, and see if that works.
The only disappointment with Yujiro losing this match is that we're not going to get to see Peter come out for more New Japan Cup matches. She may show up for other parts on this tour, but not.
I don't know if you follow Peter on Instagram and whatnot, but like if you don't, I'd highly recommend. She does do a lot of like modeling and stuff like that, but she has been in Brazil, I believe, for the last little while, doing like the carnival stuff down there. So she wears those fantastical massive outfits and walks in the parades and stuff like that.
First Japanese woman to do it, according to Chris Charlton.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, I've done that before. I've actually gotten some of those things and put those like fan things from Mardi Gras on my shoulders. Those things weigh a ton. So for her to be able to not only like dance for hours, but dance for hours in platform stiletto thigh-high boots with like a 50-pound fan of feathers on her back. Give this girl a medal. Like she's stronger than Yujiro at this point.
Yeah, she's stronger than any of these wrestlers.
Getting back to the wrestling, though, you guys. Yujiro didn't let Shota completely disrobe. I'm not going to lie, he took his hot time getting to the ring and his intro. Shota was like really hamming it up with the crowd, and I really like it. I like that he was, saying hi to
very
people.
Naito-ish. But Shota
very Moxley.
Out of nowhere just attacks Yujiro before the bell.
Before he even
the house torture. Yeah, he still had his stupid ass furry pants on, which I hate.
Which Yujiro, mercifully removed for us.
Thank Christ, it's the one good thing Yujiro's done other than his Fisherman Buster.
Yeah, I'll say I enjoyed that.
I just hate those goddamn furry pants. They look so stupid.
I mean, anybody having their clothes ripped off is kind of funny, right? Especially in professional wrestling. But getting into this match, Shota, I noticed in this match has this almost stylistic over animation that I've come to love in Saya Kamitani, where she, instead of just going, Whoa! He's going, Whoa! And for me, it works. He's got a very handsome face, but he's also got a very animated and expressive face. Mm-hmm. When he's just kind of RBF, like resting bitch face, kind of just looks like everybody else.
Like the picture.
Yeah, he just kind of looks like everybody else. But when he's in that Shota character and he's like playing to the crowd and everything. He's very animated. He's very Hiroshi Tanahashi. I absolutely loved it. I felt that this match was a fun evolution, with Shota, doing the bite that Yujiro always does. Yeah, they had a lot of fun with this one, and commentary kept mentioning, Uncle Huge, Uncle Huge, Uncle Huge, mentioning how Shota grew up in this business, hanging out
Yeah.
with Yujiro after his showings with Naito, when Naito and Yujiro were tagging together. It was really nice to have that added to the story. It made this match feel even more nostalgic and sentimental for me. Andre, what do you think?
I mean, the match was fine. Again, Yujiro outside of his like suplex, I don't like watching him wrestle.
That's
Um,
fair.
Even though he's wrestling such a good hand in Umino, I didn't care about this match. Like I honestly
That's
didn't
fair.
care. Um, it was a fine match, but there was a lot of House of Torture shenanigans that got involved. Um, Show getting on the apron, Yujiro trying to low blow Umino, but it getting stopped. But Yujiro getting that intercollegiate slam and pimp juice, and Shota kicking out. The ending came where Sho got back up on the apron, distracted the ref. Yujiro got the low blow, goes to hit Shota with the cane, but Shota dodges. He ends up hitting the Death Rider onto Sho because Sho came in the ring, then hits the Death Rider onto Yujiro, gets the win, and that's all I really have to say about this match. Shota Lumino looked good.
I think that's all we really need to say on this one. This one was, if I can say, like, that the matches so far, it was a good match, but it was the more underwhelming of the cup matches that we have had.
So far, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I skipped too far. We move on to the next match of the on that anniversary show, and it's David Finlay with Toma versus Tomohiro Ishii. David Finlay's Bullet Club now. Coming out with Gedo, has what says Rebel Club on his tights with the Bullet Club symbol. I'm okay with it. Like, I guess
I'm
like
okay
David.
with 99.9% of it. There's one thing I don't like about it. One thing. And it's like, honestly, the most minute thing. It's the hair.
Yeah, him dyeing the beard and dyeing the hair annoyed me. I don't know if that's what your problem was, but
My problem is who he looks like now.
oh, he looks like Jay White. Like Gedo
No.
is. Oh, I thought he looked very much Jay White.
Long dark hair, gray streak in front of it, and a beard. That's not who he looks like to me.
Who was it?
He looks like the Omen.
I didn't even think about that. Let's move on from now. But I do like that David Finlay is a new Gaijin project for Gedo.
That
so,
jacket.
Like, when Gedo gets behind somebody, look at how he gets so behind Okada. Then he got Jay White, and he was just like, I'm making you a star. And he put himself with him and got him over. Gedo doesn't put himself with people that he's not going to push. So I think Finlay is going to get a very strong push coming up.
To kind of ask you about that, Andre, I had been thinking about this. It's been interesting to see how instrumental Gedo has been behind the scenes, so to speak. He was instrumental in the bringing in of Jay White. He was also instrumental in the bringing in of Evil. He's also been instrumental in the bringing in of Finlay. I believe he was present when Kenta also defected into Bullet Club. And all of these members have been elevated in some way, shape, or form. Like, as much as we hate on Evil, as soon as Gedo got a hold of him, he was a double champion. Like, we can't deny that fact. Something else I also wanted to point out, though. Who else has been integral in a lot of these Bullet Club reveals and Bullet Club tensions is Tomohiro Ishii. Evil, I believe, wasn't it Evil and was it Evil and Okada, or was it Evil and Ishii who? Okay, so there was maybe not that, but like Kenta betrayed Tomohiro Ishii to join Bullet Club. Finlay betrayed Ishii to join Bullet Club. I don't know how many more people are going to betray Tomohiro Ishii before he fracking snaps.
But Ishii, but you never know. Ishii might just be a dick in real life, and that's why everybody wants to betray him because he's just a dick.
Look at that face. You think that man's a dick in real life?
His head kind of looks like a dickhead, but okay.
He has no neck.
Yeah. But we'll get into the
Anyway.
match itself here. Finley attack him for the bell. Very Bullet Club, House of Torture-ish. Great brawl on the outside with these guys, just throwing each other into the barricade, then head back in, just trading shots, man. These guys. Great Blue Thunder bomb by David Finley here. Finley superplexing Ishii, but he hits a superplex on Ishii, but Ishii pops up immediately, hits a huge shoulder block, and then Ishii hits his own suplex. Dude, it like just Ishii's just dominance is phenomenal. Just a great match. Finley with the spear, and that's this. I guess like he pulled him up and then like sat down with like a Dominator style slam. But absolutely funny. Huge Shining Wizard and the sliding D by Ishii right at the end. But in the end, Finley and Ishii start trading headbutts. Finley hits the Trash Panda, but I think they called it something else. I wasn't sure what they said. But I've always known
like a Trash Panda, but slightly different.
It was the Trash Panda, but I think he's got a new name for it. Is what it is. Hits the what I call the Trash Panda. Gets the win. David Finley defeats Ishii and moves on in the tournament.
If it's not Trash Panda, what is it going to be?
I think like whoever commentating said something else when he did the move. I don't know if they just didn't identify it as Trash Panda or said like I don't know. But I will find
like
out.
The nights that came, like the later nights, like the 11th, they said it was a Trash Panda.
Oh, okay. So it might have just been a slip on whoever said it.
But they did say it was like a Trash Panda was something else. So that's why I'm like, what is it? Is it the Trash Panda? Is it something else? I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll have to figure out if David Finley will tell us that or not.
Yeah, but absolutely phenomenal match from both these gentlemen. Like these two are just so good. Finley wrestling's in his blood. And Ishii, just nobody better. I don't think it's much better than him in professional wrestling.
I agree. Yeah. This was a fun match. It was better than the one before.
Very much so. But we move on to the March 8th show. I had to make a graphic for this one because there was no graphic posted online for this match other than the one in the GIF. Other than the one that was in the GIF, there was no proper graphic post for this. So I made my own. We have I have the wrong notes up. There we go. We have a tag team match. Shota Umino and Yuto Nakashima versus TMDK's Kosei Fujita and Zack Sabre Jr. Great match. I again, Fujita, he's just evolving so well. I love they're working the wrist lock and the overextension of the wrist in this one. It was wrist locks in like arm twists and then working like stretching the wrist back. That was the move that Sabre was teaching him in this match. Shota dropping Zack Sabre Jr. face first, like he picks him for scoop slam and just goes and just throws him down and drops him face first into the mat. And then runs and hits like twisting back elbow to like a kneeling Sabre. Awesome. But in the end, Fujita gives him great offense, but on Shota, Shota fights back, gets the FDF, and taps Fujita out.
He had to work hard for that too. He had to work hard for that submission. Fujita did not want to give that up. But I'm really enjoying the relationship story between Fujita and Zack Sabre Jr. I like how you got like Zack Sabre Jr. and Shota in this picture, like pretty much doing the same pose. What are you doing?
Oh, just spelling out TMDK with my fingers.
Oh, are you making fun of my nails? Because these are expensive.
No, your nails are great.
It's expensive to be this pretty, right? Just kidding.
No, it's pretty cheap for me to be this pretty.
This is why we're friends, my friend. This match was a lot of fun for me, though. A really, really great opener. Really fun opener, and I really, really enjoy I feel like in Suzuki-gun, Zack Sabre Jr. was a little bit more subdued, a little bit more serious. I feel that in TMDK, he's certainly come out of the shell a little bit more, showing that little bit more of that antagonistic attitude that I've been missing a lot from him. And it's really making him even more enjoyable to watch, because we have the entertainment of his wrestling. Like, his technical wrestling is just insanely good. But now to have that fun, kind of almost loudmouth, brash persona back out dealing with that, it's kind of brought life back into the
I
character for
I
me.
think he was always that character, but it wasn't as featured. Where now he's leading a stable. He's the face of a stable, so he's out there more being that brash,
Mm,
cocky asshole. And with Suzuki Gun, he wasn't the bad guy. Where I think now he's trying, like with TMDK, he's portraying himself more as a heel now. I
mm.
feel where with Suzuki Gun, I don't think he was portrayed as the heel, as the bad guy.
Suzuki-gun was neutral for sure.
Yeah. So here, I think with TMDK, they're being shown more as heels, as bad guys. So he's getting more and more animated, more and more dickish, more and more just like "go fuck yourself" kind of guy.
But he's saying it more, as in like with Suzuki-gun, it's like he was. You could see it on his face, but he wasn't vocalizing it as much. Whereas now, I feel as a member of TMDK, he's a lot more vocal. I feel that probably comes from someone like Shane Haste being behind you, going, "Say it, say 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 it," and I like it. I'm living for it. I've always been entertained by Zack Sabre Jr., but he's never been one of my favorites, because I felt that he did lack that personality that made him interesting. This evolution for me, he's definitely on my list now. This
Oh,
this
very
has
much.
moved him up into that level of you check all the boxes that I require to like you.
He's
This was
always
a
been a
fun
top.
match.
He's always been a top five guy for me personally, and now he's
Mhm.
top three because add the perfection of the attitude and working
Mhm.
with TMDK. He's like he's number one. He's made that into that top three for me.
100%.
So good, so good.
100%.
We move on to an 8-man tag match. It is Bullet Club's Chase Owens, David Finlay, El Phantasmo, and Kenta taking on with Gedo, taking on just four guys: Doki Taichi, Taka Michinoku, and Yoshinobu Kanemaru. ELP does not seem comfortable with Bullet Club anymore.
He's like Robbie Eagles. When Robbie Eagles was a part of Bullet Club, remember how uncomfortable he was with all
Well,
of the shenanigans they were doing?
yeah, it was ELP being brought in and kind of replacing Robbie Eagles in that sense inside of Bullet Club, where
Well,
kind
he
of did,
arguably pushed Robbie Eagles
yeah,
out
but
of
he kind of took Robbie Eagles' place. Where I
Mhm.
think we're seeing sort of the same thing with Finley and ELP and this little bit of they don't like each other because ELP at one point he slides in the ring as Taka has the just face lock on this, and
Yeah, yeah.
the just face
You can
lock
do
on
it, come
Finley,
on.
and he's like, "Come on, you can do it. Get to the ropes." But like, it's like, why aren't you breaking it up? But it's like it's very
Why
much
isn't the ref telling him to get the frick out of the ring?
yeah. So it's very much you're very much wary on where ELP is going with this.
Mhm.
In the end of this match, Finley hits Trash Panda onto Taka Michinoku, gets the win. ELP, like I said, I wrote down. ELP is obviously wary of Bullet Club, and he reluctantly goes in, like hits Too Sweet quickly, and then rolls out and leaves, kind of
Mhm.
without them. So it's very much like what is the Bullet Club ELP's future? Because I'm thinking when Jay left, I'm thinking, oh, ELP could be a potential leader, but now with Finley there, and how prominent he's being featured, I have a weird feeling that Finley may be the leader coming out of all this. Where I thought it was going to
Mhm.
be ELP personally.
I'm kind of like in the situation with Bullet Club right now where it's gonna sound a little strange, but it's like I feel like they've gotten a little too big for their britches.
Mm-hmm.
There's too many members, there's too many potentials, there's too many high rankers that could potentially be leaders. And at this point, I feel like this kind of implosion is happening that we're seeing between Finley and ELP is going to happen again, much like how it did with Jay White when he was like, all right,
Tama.
you're either with me, against me, pushing out God. That kind of removed 3 members from them, but now they like replaced them with like Chris Bay, Ace Austin, which is a good thing. We need Bullet Club members in the US, but in Japan, it kind of feels a little, I think chaotic is probably the right word for it.
Yeah. Well, this is like implosion number 4 of this squad, because if
In
you
the
think about
last
it,
like
the
5 years.
the first implosion all started with Cody and the Elite, and then that implosion happened, and the Bullet Club, the Elite fracturing from Bullet Club, and then you had so many other implosions over the years, with like Jay's stuff, and now with this, what's going on? It's just, it's interesting.
I mean, arguably, is the leader potentially not necessarily got to be a person who's actively wrestling? I mean, when you look at it, for me, when I'm looking at
Gedo, okay, Gedo's the new leader then.
That's exactly what I was saying. I'm like, it's, if you look at him and what it is that he's functionally doing, you know, you have all these people coming in under him, but it's like, who is the one benefiting ultimately from all of this? Gedo. He's the one who gets the check, and he's the one who's probably divvying up the check for everybody.
Or we bring in Bullet Club Muto to lead them.
I mean, my other kind of thought would be the obvious, you know, life coach, Bad Luck Fale. A leader who doesn't have to compete, but competes when he chooses to, and does so to elevate his team, as Bad Luck Fale often does. I mean, the list can go on, but let's get back to the match here, because we're talking about Bullet Club. We can't leave out just 4 guys. I gotta tell you, that Doki, you might not have liked him for a bit, but holy hot diggity dang, the best looking guy on that team right now. And holy heck, no shit, did he work hard this match.
Taichi's pretty sexy though, and then Taka, that hairdo makes him pretty sexy.
I mean, if you like windswept dog look, like, but these guys, they wrestle like a mama jamma, and like Yoshinobu Kanemaru, he is one of my favorites. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, he's since leaving Suzuki-gun, I don't know what it's been about Kanemaru, but like, he's becoming daddy right now. Like, he's looking better and better to me. I don't know. It's weird. He's out Tai Chi.
It's because you're single. It's because you're single now.
And he's probably closer to my age. And he drinks whiskey. I mean, he drinks things that hurts his face.
Well, I guess we know who you're tweeting tonight.
Doki.
No,
anyway.
Can't remember.
The double team by Taka and Doki on Finley before Taka got him into that crossface that we had mentioned with ELP was just fantastic. Just 4 guys working very, very well together, showing that Suzuki-gun roots. You know, they didn't lose that training, leaving the faction. It's just unfortunate that at this point they still hadn't picked up a win for the team. It certainly makes Taka coming out and cutting his promos before the matches look a little silly, because he's sitting there like, yeah, we're just 4 guys and we're gonna kick your butts and we're doing up there and you're already done. And it's like, yeah, no, sir, you're already done because you're the one taking the pins.
It's very true.
Yeah, but yeah, again, nice to see Chase Owens back again. He was just all up in everybody's faces. I absolutely love this attitude from him. I love the attitude from him. I love the gear that he's kind of brought into this one. He's got new gear. Really, really liking it.
This is a man with a second round bye into the tournament.
Very, very lucky too. I remember you were like, "Oh, I don't know why you got that." Well, it's Chase Owens. He's the crown jewel. That's why you got it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, this one was fun.
And sorry, I'm not trying to rush out of it. We move on to the next.
We got more.
It's LIJ's Bushi and Shiko Takagi, an awesome tag team, may I say, as we were saying in the last show we just covered. Versus United Empire's Aaron Hanare and Great Okan, the new tag team for the United Empire, because Cobb seems to be doing his own thing now. Preview of its Hanare versus Takagi for March 10th. Absolutely phenomenal match from all these guys. Khan sitting on the head of Bushi. Like, he's so small. Why would you sit on his head? You're so big. He's so much smaller than you. That is not, like, usually I laugh when he sits on people's faces, like, especially when he's sitting on Yano's. Please sit on Yano's. pisses me off. But dude, him sitting on Bushi's head, I almost felt sorry for Bushi.
He's a little guy, yeah.
It really did. Dude, Khan catching a lariat into an arm and triangle choke on from Takagi, and then moving around and hitting a beautiful exploder suplex on Takagi. Tremendous. Love those two together. Yeah, Takagi catching Hanare's kick and then just cracking the just gorgeous dragon screw, just wrecking the knee. But in the end, Hanare gets Bushi in the Ultima, but Khan gets Takagi trapped in the Sheep Killer. And Bushi, I don't know if Bushi tapped out or passed out. I don't know.
He tapped.
Did he tap? Okay, I wasn't sure
You
if he
could
tapped.
see him slightly doing this.
I wasn't sure if he tapped or passed. I wasn't sure. But in the end, United Empire gets the win.
Yeah, he was both tapping and nodding his head. Please let me out. Please free me.
I thought the head nods was just Hanare just shaking his body and his head just going limp. That's what I thought it was.
Yeah, no.
That's what I thought it was.
Just got to shout out Shingo rocking a new mask, that nice cool tan mask, and a really cool new entrance robe with like that little half cape, very similar to Naito. Really, really like the look of that cape, looking really, really sharp, very much a champion esque kind of robe that I would expect to see someone who's holding a title coming out in.
Way better than their main champion's robe. That's for damn sure.
Sadly, I have to agree with you there. I am very sick and tired of seeing that money robe. It just looks like something that I could buy off Wish for $10.
Probably did.
I do want to say though, it didn't become an issue later in the match, but the beginning of the match, I was very annoyed with this teaming because I look at this and I go, I see the Great Khan, I see Hanare. At no point in time have either one of these guys been juniors. There's just no point. They've always been heavies. Shingo came into the company as a junior, graduated into a heavy, and rightfully so. Yeah, junior. He fought the junior division. He dominated the junior division. Now he's dominating the heavy division. But Bushi's a junior. He always has been a junior. He always will be a junior. I don't see him jacking himself up to Shota Umino size anytime soon. So for me, seeing the junior go into a heavy match, I felt that it was very tilted, and I was like, well, obviously.
Like I said, I felt bad for Bushi getting sat on. I felt bad for Bushi getting sat on. I'm not usually
I felt bad for
Bushi
being in the match, period, because he's going up unfairly as a junior against two super heavyweights in Hanare and the Great Khan, who have manhandled him massively in the past anyway. And that's pretty much what happened in the beginning half of this match, is Bushi got manhandled. But like it makes sense. He's little. This was very much so a United Empire showcase match, and showcasing specifically Hanare. And it worked. Like, I came out of this match with a whole ton more respect for Hanare that I'd already had been stacking up on since he joined the United Empire. He's just been getting better and better and better and better. That Ultima is nasty. Absolutely nasty.
Ospreay makes people better, man. That's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, you always have those leaders, right?
Yeah, you do. So we move on. We got a team up of Lio Rush, Tama Tonga, and Tomoaki Hanma with Yato, taking on LAJ's Hiromu Takahashi, Sonata, and Tetsuya Naito. Weird seeing Lio Rush and Naito wrestle in the ring. Similar to what you said, Naito has been a heavyweight for a long time. I think he was a junior early in his career. But he's been a heavyweight for a decade or plus. And having him wrestle against a guy like Leo, it seemed off to me. But I think more or less it was just weird seeing Lio Rush in a ring with Naito. Not a pairing I ever really thought in my life I would get to watch.
Yeah. And Naito keeping up surprisingly well with the speed of Lio Rush. Maybe that speaks to his lucha kind of background. He's used to kind of keeping up with those quick little guys. But man, oh man, yeah, that was a good one. This was actually also the point where Kevin was joined by Chase Owens on commentary. The commentary for this match was absolutely hilarious, almost sometimes distracting from
Yeah.
the match, but in a good way because it was like, wait, what? What did they just say? And it was always relevant to what was happening either in the ring or in regards to Chase and his feud going in with Naito or whoever, his disdain for Tama. It was great. I enjoyed Chase on commentary for this one. Um, it was obvious who was taking the pin in this, though. As
Yeah.
much as we love Tomoaki Hamna, it's unfortunately seems to be his
Well, Leo's got
thing.
a title match. Tamatonga is going to be in the second round.
Least amount to Leo
Naito's in the second round. Sonata's in the second round. Hiromu's defending his title soon
against
against
Leo.
Leo.
Yeah,
So who's going to take the pin? It was kind of obvious. It's the same issue I have with Wakasukiyama in any match. So yeah, it's the Skiyama effect, as I'm going to say. In the end, enziguri by Naito, then a super kick by Hiromu with a jackknife pin on from Naito to Hanma. Only gets the 2, and Naito then hits the Destino and gets the win on Hanma.
yes.
I loved after the match when Naito went to the English table and they were filming and he's talking and going back and forth with Owens, and then he flips the mic and Kevin Kelly just grabs it.
He caught it. It went right into his hand like a magnet.
And he just grabbed it in the air. Like it was the smoothest flip and smoothest catch I've ever seen of a microphone in my goddamn life.
Oh yeah, I actually noticed that. I noted that too. Yeah,
especially one with a cord attached to it. To flip it like that and catch it that easy.
It's effortless, and it really shows you the experience of not only Naito but Kevin Kelly being a very experienced commentator, very experienced interviewer. He knows how to grab those mics.
Yeah, best in the business, man. He's best.
Wasn't he like rated number 1?
Some places yes, some places gave him number 2, and
number 2. We need to have a discussion.
They're very wrong because Kevin Kelly's the best commentator in this business.
You're goddamn right.
All right, so we move on to the final undercard match of the show. It's Chaos, the Hiroki Goto, Yo, and Yoshihashi taking on the United Empire, Jeff Cobb, Kyle Fletcher, and Will Ospreay. This is probably the match I took the least amount of notes on, which is very odd for me because I'm a big Empire fan. So,
I was gonna say, what the hell?
I only took 4 lines of notes here, which is very weird for me. Cobb, super cocky, mocking Goto's pose early on. That with the I was like, yes. I love the attitude from Cobb there. Yo catching Ospreay off the springboard into the inverted atomic drop, and then all of Chaos just like just hitting the war drums. I hate the war drums, but I love the way that Yo caught him into the inverted atomic drop because yes, Ospreay's gone up to heavyweight and bulked up a bit, but it's not like he's gone a crazy amount of bulking comparatively. So Yo facing off with a guy like Ospreay makes sense to me because again, a former junior who's bulked up some to become a heavyweight, but he's not. It's not like it's that big of a stretch, like we were talking with Bushi and those other guys. So just to see Fletcher posing while Ospreay's got Goto on the ropes, just like pulling that Doedo tie stuff. I loved it. In the end, though, Yo getting a quick roll up on Ospreay, goes for the direct drive, but Ospreay gets out, hits the hook kick, and then cracks Yo in the back of the head with a beautiful hidden blade. And United Empire picks up the win here.
Yes. So first thing I want to say is this: bless Will Ospreay's heart for overselling those war drums. He literally took a face bump, sprung back up to his feet. And I'm like, no, there's no way. No way.
So stupid.
Even Ishii hitting you at his hardest on that wouldn't do that. You're telling me that Yo and Yoshihashi did that to you, my guy? No.
And Goto, it was a triple war drum. Come on, it was a triple.
Goto cannot make up for all of the weakness that the other two are given, though. I love Goto. Goto is one of the strongest people that I know in this company. But no. No. So again, bless Will Ospreay's heart for making that look legitimate. This match also, I really feel, was a huge showcase for Fletcher. He was just so overly excited and happy and just just the ball of energy in this match that I felt kind of like brought Cobb out of his shell a little bit, because Cobb's always been funny, but like Cobb was really funny in this one. That the surfboard that he always does, I absolutely love it. Yoshihashi at one point hit Cobb's knee from behind. I lost my shit. I started yelling at my television at Yoshihashi. I'm like, you stay the frick away from his knee. I have missed seeing Jeff Cobb for the months that he has been away. You injure him, and I have to go another couple months without seeing a spin cycle or a Twirl the Islands. I'm gonna be mad. Leave his knee alone.
Yeah.
The hidden blade on that Osprey nailed. Oh gosh dang, that hidden blade has become so nasty. I do love though that Osprey is continuing this cycle of pulling it out of nowhere, much like an RKO, just setting it up and just boom, hitting it, match is done. Really, really love it. And the commentary kept saying they're surprised at the unity of the faction of the United Empire. And I'm sitting there going, why are you surprised? It literally in the name
They're united.
of the faction, you know. I mean, chaos is chaotic, United Empire is united. It makes sense. These guys have such a brotherhood that is actually legitimately put out there as a brotherhood, especially seeing at the end of this. You know, Kyle Fletcher was so excited. He's kissing Will Ospreay. Like it was a great show of sportsmanship. I really enjoyed this match.
Yeah, I think I took my least amount of notes because I watched this at Friday night at like, last night at like 11:30 at night, and I was extremely tired when I was watching this match. I think that's why I was short on notes for this one because
Hey, it's all good. It was a good match.
yeah, extremely great match. Just
Mhm.
yeah. So we're gonna move on to what I thought was one of the best Yano matches I've ever seen. It's Toru Yano taking on Dunkzilla Mark Davis with Kyle Fletcher. Owens, when Yano's early on, Owens just calls Yano stupid. I was like,
I mean, the animosity between
whoa.
those two is palatable, right?
I just love that he's like, you're stupid. He's so Yano's stupid. Just calling him stupid was great.
Well, and then the questions too. Like it was the answer to the question, Kevin, why do you like him so much? Because he's stupid. I mean, it makes sense.
I love it. I love it. Just this is a very much a match of Davis dominating throughout. Like he really was the dominating force in this match. The spots with the tape, bringing back the tape. He hasn't done the tape spots in a long time, so I actually found it quite humorous. He's starting to tape Davis up, and that's where Fletcher comes in, tries to take out Yano, and Yano runs Fletcher into the barricade and tapes him up. Like I was just like, I absolutely did love it. Davis pulling Yano under the ring at one point, pulling some Yano-esque moves,
Yeah.
pulled him out of the ring. Davis comes back out, gets in the ring, letting the count go, and then out from under the ring comes Yano wearing a bag on his head, makes it back in at the count of 19. But I was just like, I laughed so hard.
It's a smart thing. I mean, as someone who is also nyctophobic, I am terrified of the dark. So, like, you put a bag on my head, I don't know where I am. I'm gonna be freaking out too. Makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yano had to remove the corner pad early, and then Davis just goes to screw it and just pulls the other three corner pads off, and just says like no corner pads for this one. And then Davis tapes himself wrist to Yano and
Yes.
starts whipping Yano into the corners.
So smart.
Smart, but then Yano reverses it and runs Davis into the bro, and and he ends up removing the tape. Davis tosses a chair to Yano and goes for an enziguri, but Yano misses it. So Yano then throws the chair into Davis' hands and pulls an Eddie Guerrero. And the ref gets up and starts freaking out and takes the chair from Davis. I was laughing so goddamn hard that he pulled out an Eddie Guerrero there. Yano goes for the low blow. Dunkzilla stops it, gets an enziguri, then hits that inverted angle slam that he does and gets the win. Mark Davis moving on to the second round. Empire strong, baby.
And honestly, was there any doubt though? Was there any doubt?
Okay, Yano in tournaments, he's had weird ass wins in G1s. He's gone farther than he should in other
That's true.
New
That's true.
Japan Cups. I never count Yano out because of weird booking in this company
Yeah,
sometimes.
that's fair. That's fair. However, when it comes down to it, it's no way that Yano is going to be taking a cup or advancing a cup when you have so many new people to choose from.
Yeah,
so
he's gone in farther before. He's beaten guys he shouldn't have. He's in G1s. He's beaten people that he really shouldn't be beating. So that's why I never count him out in the tournament setting.
I do, because there's no freaking way he's ever going to take a tournament in the rest of.
He's never going to win it, but he's gone to the second.
He is the fuck guy. Let me talk. Let me talk, Mama Jamma. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm not going to add anything to this except for Marty Asadi at the end. It was hilarious because of how freaking small he is. Davis is so tall. Marty had to stand on his tippy toes to hoist Mark Davis's elbow. And even then, he was being lazy and wasn't holding it upright. So Marty really had to work really hard for it. That was the only thing I wanted to say about that.
It was funny. It was funny. So Mark Davis moves on, leaves Yano in the dust. Move on to the main event of the evening. It's Evil versus Ren Narita. The first half of this match was very good.
I have to agree. I think we were speaking about it before we came on here. I felt that the first part of this match was the Evil that we were supposed to get, and the Evil that we got when he had first joined Bullet Club, when he was facing Naito, and when he was gaining and retaining and the double championships. This was the Evil that should always be on display in NJPW because it is the Evil that is reputable. The Evil that we have come to know in the House of Torture is not a reputable character. He's obnoxious. He's annoying. It's one of those things where it's like a person is good to a certain point and then they become annoying. Evil has been that person, and it's really sad because he's so good. The beginning of this match showed how good he is, but then you throw people like Togo, Sho, and Yujiro in there, and he just becomes a shit stain, essentially. The shenanigans made me lose interest. As soon as shenanigans started, I lost interest in the match. It was hard for me to finish it. Therefore I don't have a lot to say. I actually said I was more interested in what Chase and Kevin were saying on commentary at that point, as opposed to what was actually happening.
They were having fun on commentary at points, like just
they had to.
Chase and Kevin, I think, realized how just stupid shit was getting, so they were just making fun of shit and having fun with shit. And to me, I was perfectly fine with that. Like Narita always looks good, like even in the dealing with the shit stain stuff, he still looked great. The 100%. Beautiful Northern Lights suplex by Narita with the bridge, absolutely gorgeous. In the end, though, Narita goes for a Cobra twist. Evil low blows him, hits a lariat, then hits everything as Evil for the win. And then Evil puts a Darkness Scorpion on Narita after the match. The ref should have reversed the decision right there, in my opinion. But shit happens, literally.
Yeah, it was so bad, and like to have it be your main event. I don't even want to talk about the promo he cut after because it just wasn't worth it.
I didn't listen because I don't give a shit what Evil has to say. There wasn't.
I watched it. I just didn't care to read what he was saying.
Well, it doesn't read. I don't think New Japan had any.
Kevin was translating a little bit. He was saying some stuff.
But I was like, I don't care. I don't care what Evil has to say. So I'm
how bad is it when you get to a point where you see the effort? Like, I mean, we see it in WWE a lot where they're putting so much time and effort into the crowd liking a person, and the crowd just says no. They have the same thing with Evil here. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's very much that thing, and it's just I just don't like it at all.
Mm. So moving on, let's see what the standings are here.
Moving on. Hold on. I want to just take that off. I'm going to pop this up. So we have the standings. Sonata moving on to the second round will face Kenta. Tetsuya Naito moves on to the second round to face Chase Owens, which is absolutely phenomenal in my opinion. Evil moves on to face Jeff Cobb. Please, Cobb, take him out. Mark Davis moves on to face his faction leader in Will Ospreay.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting there. You have David Finlay moving on to face the Great Okan, and you have Shota Umino moving on to face Zack Sabre Jr. We still have Shingo Takagi versus Aaron Hanare. Has happened already, but we aren't covering on. We'll be covering on the next show this Friday. And you have Yoshihashi versus Kyle Fletcher, a match I'm absolutely looking forward to. We will be reviewing those this coming Friday, along with the first couple of matches in the second round.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
What a beginning of the tournament we are having, my friend.
We are absolutely phenomenal tournament. I can't wait for more. We will be back this coming Friday, hopefully, to talk some more. Talk the last two first round matches. Talk some couple second round matches. Probably the 10th, 11th, and possibly the 12th. We're not quite sure yet. And we'll be catching up slowly over the next week or so, getting everything out to you, ladies and gentlemen.
We got a lot to do. To do.
So, as we bring this to an end, I want to thank our sponsor, Rogue Energy. Scan the QR code as Mel points to it, or go to rogueenergy.com. Use the promo code OLEPODS for 10% off your order. And speaking of OLE, I want to give a big shout out to our friends over at Our Local Establishment. You can find them on twitch.tv/Our Local Establishment, on YouTube at youtube.com/@Our Local Establishment, on Instagram and TikTok at OLE Podcast. Lots of great content over there. I'm over there every once in a blue moon with Marvel Talk with my partner Old Ed. You have Busting Out with Chris Parrish and Bobby Munson, Fusion and Ring Respect Radio with Bobby Munson and Papa Smokes. You have Beats and Beatdowns with Carl and Bobby Munson. Lots of Bobby. I love hearing
that Bobby.
You have Taking Over with Old Ed and Astrid, and this is out on Monday. I'm going to be showing up tomorrow on taking over to guest host with my good buddy Oled to fill in for Astrid while she's away on assignment, as we're going to say. So you can check me out over there. We also have Para Mindful with my co-host Mel Ball, Carl Carafel, and our good friend Alex. You have Killer Cuts, a brand new show talking about the Scream franchise and the kills of the whole with Astrid and Bobby Munson. And then you finally got Turnbuckle Talk with our good friend Carl Carafel, who again, I'll get to do that show already, and it's so much fun to do. So please check all those out at Twitch on twitch.tv for Our Local Establishment on the YouTube page. And I also want to give a big shout out to our good friend Mike the Ref for all the great support he's given us. He's given me over the years. Thank you so much, my friend. You can check him out at youtube.com/@backbreaker_gaming for all his great gaming content, which you can see on twitch.tv/@Mike the Ref. All his great gaming content. He's got his Wednesday Dynamite watch along there every Wednesday. Check it out, please. And you might be watching us on youtube.com/@backbreaker video. If you're not, please go check it out. If you are, I want to say please check out Andre and Melball Wrestling Talk on youtube.com/Andre and Melball Wrestling Talk.
We went through all of that stuff. We have so much going on. If you're wanting to watch NJPW and take in some of the amazing wrestling that we watch, you want to go to njpwworld.com. It is right now 999 yen, which is actually coming out to 730 in US, which is amazing. I think I paid maybe 8 something Canadian this month, but hey, less than $10, which we're still gonna do the perfect 10 because we love Sean Spears here.
Because it'll be $10 again soon. Come on.
yeah, inflation. It gets to all of us eventually. Also, you want to follow our amazing friend Astrid Pizarro on her YouTube channel, where you can catch her Astrid Asks series, where she actually has an interview with Ashley Vega, undeniable Ashley Vega right now. And she also has another one coming out with the beautiful Ray Lynn in the next couple of days here. I believe that is coming out on the 18th, St. Patty's Day. So that's going to be a special.
Drinky.
Yeah, get yourself a beer, enjoy the amazing voice of Astrid. You can also catch the Ladies Wrestling Showcase on Astrid Pizarro's YouTube channel that features myself, Melball Collins, as we break down all of the amazing women's topics and kind of interesting ladies' background in wrestling there. We also have Making an Impact happening on Astrid Pizarro's show or on Astrid Pizarro's YouTube channel there with Cody the Foe, Defoe. Fun name to say there. That happens after the Impact tapings every Thursday. You want to come check that out. Andre, my friend, if we're wanting to follow you on social media, where are we going to find you?
You can find me at on Twitter at That Canada Guy, Instagram at That Canada Dude, on Mastodon and Hive at That Canada Guy. You can also find me at youtube.com/Andre at Andre Melba Wrestling Talk, or on our Facebook page at Andre and Melba Wrestling Talk.
Excellent. And if you're wanting to follow a Melball on social media, you can find her on Twitter at Collins Melball. You can find her on Instagram, Facebook, and Mastodon at Melball Collins. I think that's everything here, my friend. We are coming to an end of our show. So that being said, I am your Melball. Over there is that Canadian dude, Andre. We will see you next time. Adios.